Hello and welcome back to another episode of
Boys Gone Wild.
And this is a big topic for me, motivational speakers, because I have a lot of views on it. Almost not enough to be covered in one episode. So I'm almost nervous to do this episode because I know I'm going to finish it and I will have there's so much views I have. I don't even know where to start because it's all wonderful and it's all awful simultaneously. I'll be focusing a bit as well on a couple of minor TikTok motivational speakers who are sort of my main passion at the moment. If anyone's been watching my Instagram stories, they'll know how much I love motivational speakers on TikTok. I've been a few more weeks into TikTok, and first off the bat, is it just me, or is everyone else done with trick shots? Do you know what I mean? Like TikTok, you get teenagers with their breasts out, or you get trick shots, basically, is what it is. Or you get people flicking ping pong balls into cups in various different positions. And the thing with the trick shots, when I first saw the first couple of trick shots, you know, the ones where they're like, I don't know, throw a basketball off a skyscraper and it lands in the net, you know, kick a ball into a moving bus, you know. When I first saw one of those, I was like, wow, that's sick. Or one of those even more annoying ones, the ones, you know, when they flick a domino and then it has this really complex thing that the ball all rolls down and finally lands in like a cup at the end. The first time you see those, it's like, that's fucking sick. But basically every trick shot after that, if it's not better than the best trick shot I've ever seen, then I don't give a shit about it. You know? I've seen someone throw a basketball from a moving helicopter and it's landed in a net like 5,000 feet below them. If you're not doing better than that, I don't care. And there's all these pathetic people on TikTok who are like, I spent ages doing this, don't let it flop. I don't care how long you spent on it. That's so embarrassing. Like, imagine me doing this podcast clip going like, I actually worked really hard on this, so please let this go viral. Please. I thought about this opinion for ages. Please don't let it flop, guys. It's pathetic. Let people choose if it's good or not. Don't have this kind of like, spent ages doing this, don't let it flop. And also with trick shots, I don't want to see your failed attempts. People think it's fascinating. I've seen so many videos of people doing trick shots where it's just them fucking up like 8 times in a row. And then it doesn't even go in. Why the fuck would I give a shit about your failure? Infuriating. Like the trick shot now, to see a trick shot on TikTok and for me to enjoy it, it has to be so fucking good. It needs to be you blindfolded, firing a golf ball in the ruins of Raqqa, Syria, under fire by ISIS. And the ball needs to land directly in President Assad's gaping arsehole. If I saw that, then I'd give it a like. Maybe. And even then it would be like, last week I saw someone throw a basketball and had it lodged in between George Bush's teeth. You know? You've got to, if you're doing a fucking trick shot, 1, put it out there and don't be a little bitch about it. Please don't let this flop. And 2, it has to be fucking amazing. Okay? But I'm not here to talk about trick shots. I'm here to talk about motivational speakers. Because I've been sort of obsessed with this sort of a certain type of motivational speaker where, and this has grown a lot in the internet age, because I like the kind of, there's this movement of this sort of like super capitalist entrepreneur. Like there's been, basically, in my view, now that in the modern age we have no real church or God and like religion's on the decline, there's this weird power vacuum because everyone is lost and they want some sort of guidance.
We have the abilities to bring in what's rightfully mine.
Of course. What is rightfully yours?
Whatever the fuck I want.
And the people who are starting to fill this void of collecting lost people without a way are some of the biggest cunts I've ever seen. And these aren't spiritual teachers. These aren't people telling you how to find your own path in life and how to develop your soul. These are people who purely are talking about how to maximize your profit in like a free market entrepreneurial sense. They're all over TikTok, and they nearly all are copying the biggest one of them at the moment, who's called Gary Vaynerchuk. A few of my favourites of the lesser ones is Billy Garton Jr. I'm obsessed with Billy Garton Jr. He's a slightly northern sounding English guy who I think he's living in San Diego at the moment. So he's out by a pool, and he posts every day just the usual shit of like, you got to believe in yourself, and like has AirPods and has interviews with people and tells them how to inspire. And he's like 23 years old, and he's not even that rich. But what he does every day is he does a video of him jumping into his cold pool, all right? And he thinks it's inspirational.
Training my mind by immersing myself in freezing cold water. Here we go.
Because he's like, this is what I'm doing every day. I'm jumping into this cold water, training my mind that if I do something uncomfortable every day, I'll be ready to start my day and take any challenges that come. And then he just jumps backwards into his pool, as if what he's doing is actually tough.
Are we ready? All right, day 100. Here we go.
But what I'm obsessed with about this, so remember, he's on like day 120. I think that's 120 TikToks of utter shite. But what I'm obsessed with this is I love how angry and how personal he takes it when people say the pool isn't cold, because the pool doesn't look cold. I'm sure it is cold, but it looks like just a nice pool. If he was jumping into an ice bath, it would at least look more impressive. But the fact that he's jumping, into this big kind of like California pool, and then often opens it's like, it's a warm day, so I can't wait for everyone to tell me this pool's cold, as if he's sort of owning it, when you can tell how much it must piss him off.
Freezing cold water every day. Can't wait for the hate comments today about apparently because it's sunny, that means the pool's warm. Message is still the same though. I'm training my mind every day for success. Day 110, here we go.
So I urge all of you to find his account on TikTok. Don't hate. I don't want to instigate any hate. He's just a kid. But please, even though he's my age, fucking hell. But please, just keep commenting that you think the pool's warm. Like, nothing major. You don't need to. It doesn't. Just something like that. I think that's fair, because he's being a massive prick. Once again, he's so young. It's not really his fault. It's the same with all these TikTok stars. But I think he does deserve this sort of abuse. So I think, please, can you guys, if you're on TikTok, please keep messaging that pool looks warm. Just something subtle. Just constantly like, oh, that looks like a pretty warm pool. Oh, nice pool. That looks like a lovely temperature. I just want to just rile him up to the point where he's like, look, this fucking pool is free. I want him to get a temperature stick and try and prove that it's a cold pool. I'm just obsessed with his reaction and how much it must infuriate him that no one believes that the pool's cold. I love it. And especially when he does ones on a warm day. Please just say, oh, it looks warm. Probably is warm in the pool. But he's only the beginning. He's only the beginning. Look, I'm already deep into the podcast. I've just done. I message down below, comment down below if you want me to do another extended one on motivational speakers, because I have so many thoughts and so much stuff to say. My main obsession is Harry Livingston. I'll play some of his videos now.
Minutes of anger can impair your immune system for up to 6 hours, whereas laughter boosts your immune system. Moral of the story? Be happy, laugh, smile. It helps. I'd hate to be one of them people right now that creep around. Most of them, no name, no profile picture, just throwing their negative energy everywhere. Very vulnerable. Stay strong. Think big, work smart.
Who everyone on my Instagram stories, I've been posting Instagram stories for like over a year, maybe 2 years, and there's never been as many people who have connected with my stories as much as when I post a video of Harry Livingston. He has captured whatever demographic are watching my stories are obsessed with Harry Livingston, and for good reason, because he's fucking hysterical. The lack of self-awareness on this guy, and this is what people like Gary Vaynerchuk are starting to build. These sort of motivational speakers. He looks like a sort of medieval inbred who you'd see maybe in the background of like a Monty Python and the Holy Grail. He has that sort of simpleton haircut, but then often wears sunglasses, which makes him look even more special. He has this really dumb voice, and his advice is so hard to comprehend. It often makes no sense, and the way he delivers it is in such a dull, strange way. It's absolutely bizarre. So he looks like an idiot and he sounds like an idiot, and then when he tells you things like, don't be a one-trick pony, he says it like he's filled with the world weariness, the weight of having to explain to us mere mortal idiots about how to invest in fucking cryptocurrency.
Dave's in debt. Dave's got a 7 million overall debt on his property portfolio. Dave's got a problem.
I mean, this kind of shit he comes out with is utterly ridiculous. And then he ends every single TikTok with, think big, work smart.
Think big, work smart.
But the way it comes out of his mouth is just, I think about it all the time. And I want to bring this on the pod because I think it's the funniest slogan for anything. Think big, work smart. He says think big, work smart while sounding thick as shit. It's just wonderful. Every single video. Think big, work smart. Think big, work smart. And sometimes he comes into frame like, think big, work smart. I'm obsessed with Harry Livingston. And I've messaged him because I wanted to try and get an Instagram live with him. But he didn't answer. So that's why I've been waiting to talk about him for all that time because I didn't want to ruin the chances of having an Instagram live with him. But yeah, I'd check out Harry Livingston because it's just wonderful. It is just true, pure bliss. And he has these hypothetical characters he likes to talk about. Dave has an investment portfolio of over 400k. What's clever old Dave going to do now?
Dave and Karen are back. They got 20 grand in savings and they're going to build an empire.
He has one hilarious video where he does these sort of life hacks that are not life hacks at all. He does this one where he's like, he tells you to put £2,500 into this special account or this special fund of some sort because the benefits of being in there is that you get free Spotify. As if that's some sort of life hack, putting £2,500 up to risk just so you can get free Spotify. And then he'll say something like that, which just seems like unnecessary pain. And even if it does work, it's like you haven't saved crazy amounts. And then finishes it by going, think big, work smart. But Harry, if you're listening, I'd love to do Instagram Live with you. I have a lot of questions about success. But what I was obsessed with both Billy Garton Jr. and Harry Livingston is they don't seem particularly successful. And I don't know what they do. And it's very unclear. And I think there's something that really sums up the place we're at as a society, that you can have motivational speakers who have done nothing that's motivational in their life. You can have people who are teaching, trying to motivate people to be successful when they themselves are not successful. Because I'm always been obsessed with how does someone, there's people who have only been motivational speakers, who have just gone into motivational speaking, and that's all they've done. How do you start being a motivational speaker? Surely you can't be a motivational speaker unless you've done something successful. Like if Arnold Schwarzenegger became a motivational speaker, he could easily do that because he's achieved in many different fields. You know, that at least makes some sense. But you see these people who've done nothing and then they just start like grinding away at being a motivational speaker as if it's like a comedian grinding away at open mics. Like you can't busk on the underground as a motivational speaker. You can't work your way up through the clubs because inherently you can't be a motivational speaker to an audience of 2 people because then inherently you're a failure and therefore not worth listening to. Another amazing TikTok motivational speaker is Jason Capital, who may look like the biggest douchebag I've ever seen in my entire life. Never have I seen a haircut so match a personality, where it's like, oh, he's got the haircut of a cunt, and, oh, guess what? He is a cunt. wow, that's incredible. It's like satisfying to see someone sow themselves.
If you're in a relationship and you're a fucking path dominator, it's very important that the person you with understands that you're not normal. You're a high achiever. You do things differently. Every other guy she's dated, not like you most likely. And some women, just so you guys know, are not prepared to date a guy like that. But if she's gonna be dating you, she needs to understand where you're going in life.
And Harry Livingston and Billy Garton Jr., they seem like sweet and naive. This guy really is a fucking douchebag. He does these seminars where he talks to people about life. And it's more as bad as these people are, what's worse are the people who go to them. And they don't realise how fucking embarrassing they look. Because everyone who goes to these talks, you may think that money will get you respect. You may think that if you invest in the right things and you work in real estate and you flip loads of properties and you make money, that you'll get respect. But we're never going to respect you because you go to talks like that and take it seriously. If you take a notebook to go see Jason Capital and you think that if you can show off that you make 300 grand a year, that there'll be any respect, then you're fucking wrong. If you're making notes while a dude who has a completely shaved side of his head and flopped over like he looks like one of the characters from Rugrats, and you're making notes as if he's saying anything worth noting down.
Try and pick these girls off one by one, that sounds exhausting. That sounds like going door-to-door sales.
Then you've already failed. You're going to a thing about success, but you don't realise that you've already failed. Because it's in the ideologies of all of these TikTok motivational speakers where it's clear that they think, and their audience think, that if they make money, they will prove people wrong. They will prove that they were right and that they're successful. But I don't know if it is success, no matter how rich you are, if you suck. If you just fucking suck. Like, I have a lot of friends who are estate agents. They're morons. They're going to make a lot of money. They're going to buy a fancy car. And they're going to think, when they make money, very likely much more than I'll ever make, they'll think they've won somehow. But what they don't realise is at the end of it all,
They fucking suck.
and I don't think that's encouraged enough with all of these motivational speakers. There's not at all any advice on how not to just suck. Like, I don't know what's the right word, but all of these people, they just suck. Is that? I hope it's quite coming across what I mean. They just fucking suck. Well, I made 300 grand last year. So you fucking suck. Like, I'm gigging with comedians in London before all this shit, and loads of them, they're in their 30s. They're not making much money at all. They're still struggling in many ways. And these motivational speakers would see a lot of these comedians, and they'd say, like, you should have followed my route. But they shouldn't, because they don't fucking suck. And I think there really should be more encouragement for people not to just suck ass. Like Jason fucking Capital. I've gone over my time. I'm going to do another video on motivational speakers, but next time I'm going to do it on Gary Vaynerchuk. But until then, I've been told by a friend that I should promote other podcasts at the end of this. So I'm going to try and put watch my other wow. That was fucking shit. Watch my other podcasts. Okay, if you like this shit, if you're watching it every day, drop it a like every time. It really helps. Comment something, and I like people commenting questions. Like, people have been the feedback has been fucking amazing. And every time you comment a question that seems constructive, whether it's saying you liked it or saying, actually I prefer it when you do talk about this, I like it because it makes me feel, when I'm looking at just a camera with no one here, it makes me feel less like I'm going insane. It feels more like a conversation. So please, if you like it, comment something down below. All the comments have been really interesting. I do genuinely listen. Share it with your friends. The more people watch this, the more likely I am to carry this on past lockdown. So please, like, subscribe. and peace to all humanity. Peace and love to all humanity until we have achieved the final state of human development, that is fully automated luxury gay space communism. That's my version on the like, subscribe and peace. But yes, if you like it, do share it. It really fucking helps. But most importantly, the number one thing to remember is
Think big, work smart.